Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood and welcome back to my official channel. Grab a seat and hold on tight because the drama we are about to dive into today is going to completely blow your mind. And honestly, I am just sitting here staring at my computer screen trying to figure out how to even type all of this out because my hands are literally shaking. It is way past midnight and I am running on nothing but cold coffee and pure adrenaline right now. But I had to get this out to you guys. I had to just dump all this information onto the page because keeping it in my head is making me crazy. So don't expect perfect grammar today. Do not expect pretty sentences or nice transitions because I am just a tired journalist on a massive deadline and I am typing furiously to get the truth out there before the whole internet explodes. And trust me, it is going to explode. Because what just went down in Los Angeles is the darkest, bloodiest, most insane thing we have seen on this show in years, maybe ever. So let's just get right into it. The darkness has completely taken over Los Angeles. And I mean that literally and figuratively, because Sheila Carter finally found out the truth. The dirty, nasty, secret truth about Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes. And we all knew this was coming. We all knew that you cannot play games with the devil and expect to not get burned. But nobody expected the fire to be this big. Nobody expected the blood to flow like this. It is just a total nightmare. Let me back up a little bit so you understand how we got to this bloody mess, because the buildup is just as crazy as the climax. So we know that Deacon and Taylor have been sneaking around. They have been playing with fire. And Steffi Forrester Finnegan has been telling her mother to stop. Steffi literally threatened to ban Taylor from the family. She said, stay away from Deacon. Because Deacon is married to Sheila. And Sheila is a monster. But Taylor did not listen. Dr. Taylor Hayes, the world famous psychiatrist who is supposed to be so smart and so logical, just threw all her brain cells out the window for a guy who makes pizza. It is so frustrating. And Deacon is just as bad, or maybe worse, because Deacon knows exactly what his wife is capable of. He knows she shot Steffi. He knows she shot Finn. He knows she cut off her own toe to fake her death. But he still thought he could sneak around. He still thought he was smart enough to hide an affair from a woman who has eyes in the back of her head. So they were at the Cliff House, Taylor and Deacon, gearing up for a passionate encounter. They could not resist the temptation anymore. They were ready to hit the sheets. And they were so arrogant about it. Deacon was literally saying that nothing was going to keep them apart. And he was stripping down, and Taylor was right there with him. But they forgot one tiny detail. Sheila, because Sheila is always lurking, always watching, and she showed up at the Cliff House with a bouquet of flowers. Just let that sink in. She brought flowers to thank Taylor for saving her marriage. The irony is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. And speaking of knives, we will get to that in a minute. So Sheila is at the door and she knocks and nobody answers. But Sheila is not the kind of person who just leaves a nice note and walks away. No, she looks through the window, she peers through the glass. And that is when she sees it. She sees her husband, her Deacon, the man she changed her whole life for, the man she went to prison for, the man she promised to be good for. She sees him with Taylor, making out on the bed, stripped down and ready to go. And right then and there, something inside Sheila just snapped. You could probably hear the sound of her sanity breaking all the way in Beverly Hills. The grateful wife died in that exact second. And the psychotic, cold-blooded killer woke back up. Her eyes went completely dead. That crazy, wild, unhinged look came back to her face. And she did not barge in right then. She did not start screaming at the window. Because Sheila is a predator. And predators do not just yell at their prey. They hunt them. They plan. So she prepared a plan. A bloody, ruthless, terrifying plan. The most cruel and vicious plan she has ever put together in her entire life. She wanted them to feel safe. She wanted them to think they got away with it. So she waited, and this is where the story shifts to Deacon's apartment, his place above Il Giardino, the place where he and Sheila live, the place that is supposed to be their home. Deacon and Taylor eventually left the Cliff House, probably because they knew Steffi could walk in at any second. So they went back to Deacon's place to continue their dirty little secret, but they walked right into a trap because Sheila was already there, and she was not holding flowers anymore. She was holding a knife, a huge, sharp, terrifying knife. And I am typing this and I can literally picture the scene in my head and it makes my stomach turn because Sheila did not just want to talk. She did not want to file for divorce. She wanted blood. She wanted to carve the betrayal right out of their chest. So Sheila storms into the apartment. She just kicks the door open or unlocks it and bursts in like a demon from hell. And she has this massive blade in her hand. And the look on her face is just pure evil. It is the look of a woman who has absolutely nothing left to lose. Because Deacon was her last connection to humanity. He was the only reason she was trying to be normal. And he threw it all away for Taylor Hayes. The woman Sheila has hated for decades. The woman who has always looked down on her. Chaos immediately erupts in the apartment. Total and complete chaos. Deacon starts screaming. He is panicking. He is trying to put his clothes on and trying to talk her down all at the same time. He is yelling at her to drop the knife. He is telling her it is not what it looks like, which is the dumbest thing you can say to a woman holding a butcher knife who just watched you kiss another woman. But Deacon is not a smart man. He is a coward, and he is terrified. And then there is Taylor, Dr. Hayes. She tries to use her professional voice. She tries to intervene. She steps forward and holds her hands up like she is trying to calm down a wild animal. She starts telling Sheila to breathe. She tells her to think about what she is doing. She tries to psychoanalyze a woman who is literally foaming at the mouth with rage. And it is the worst mistake Taylor could ever make, because you cannot talk a shark out of biting you when there is already blood in the water. And Sheila just lunges. She swings the knife, and the screaming gets louder, and things start breaking. Lamps are falling over. The coffee table is smashed. Glass is shattering everywhere. It is a brutal, ugly, violent struggle. Deacon is trying to grab Sheila's arm. Taylor is trying to get out of the way. But the apartment is small. There's nowhere to run. And Sheila is swinging that sharp blade with the strength of a complete lunatic. And while all this blood is flying around Deacon's living room, I just have to pause and talk about how crazy the rest of the world is right now. Because the contrast is insane. It is literally sickening. While Taylor is fighting for her life against a serial killer, her daughter Steffi is at Forrester Creations worrying about office politics. Steffi is just sitting there in her CEO chair dealing with Melissa Dillon and Electra Forrester. Steffi offered Dillon a job as a receptionist, and Electra is throwing a massive temper tantrum about it. Electra is flying into a rage in the showroom. She is screaming at Dillon to quit, and Dillon is refusing because she needs the money and does not want to be homeless. So Steffi is dealing with these two girls acting like high schoolers. Steffi is telling Electra to just stick her chin out and move on. She is reminding everyone that she is the boss. Steffi thinks this is the biggest problem in her life right now. She has no idea. She has absolutely no idea that her mother is currently dodging a hunting knife in a pizza parlor apartment. The guilt is going to absolutely destroy Steffi when she finds out, because Steffi tried to warn her. Steffi tried to save her, but Taylor chose Deacon. And look at Will Spencer. Will is over here moving on with Dillon. He got his heart broken by Electra because Ivy Forrester is an evil, manipulative witch who stole Electra's letter. Ivy stole the heartfelt letter and left a broken necklace to make Will think it was over. So Will is sad, and Will is turning to Dillon for comfort. They are probably going to end up in bed together soon. Will is just focused on his little teenage romance drama. He is fighting with RJ Forrester at the office. They are yelling at each other about who likes Electra more. RJ is accusing Will of being a double agent for Bill and Katie. It is all so petty, so incredibly petty. And RJ is having the time of his life. He invited Electra over to the Forrester mansion for a private dinner. They are eating nice food. They are going for a romantic moonlight swim in the pool. They are taking cute selfies and posting them on social media for everyone to see. RJ is telling Electra how amazing she looks. Electra is flirting back. They are just living in this perfect little rich kid bubble. They are smiling for the camera while the camera flashes. But back at Deacon's apartment, the only thing flashing is the silver blade of Sheila's knife. It is just so wild to think about how life just keeps going on for some people while everything ends for someone else. And look at the older generation. Brooke and Katie are at each other's throats. They are having a full-blown war over fashion designs. Bill Spencer convinced Katie to use Eric Forrester's designs for the Logan brand. Bill is yelling that you cannot steal something you own. And Brooke and Ridge are furious. They are so mad that they literally crashed Katie's press conference to sabotage her fashion launch. They barged in and derailed the whole event just to protect the Forrester brand. They are playing dirty. They are making threats. Brooke is acting like this fashion show is a matter of life and death, but it is not. A dress is not life and death. What is happening in Deacon's apartment is life and death. So let's get back to the blood, because there is so much of it. The struggle between Sheila Taylor and Deacon is raw and unfiltered. It is not like the movies where someone does a cool karate kick and saves the day. It is messy. It is clunky. People are slipping on the floor. They are grabbing at clothes. Deacon gets pushed into the wall. Taylor tries to grab the knife hand, but Sheila is just too strong. Her crazy energy is too much. She is screaming about betrayal. She is screaming about how she gave up everything for Deacon, and she is screaming at Taylor for always taking what belongs to her. And then it happens. The fatal blow. The knife finds its target, and the screaming suddenly stops. The whole room just goes completely silent, except for the sound of heavy breathing and the drip, drip, drip of blood hitting the floor. The user notes say it clearly. The chaos leads to a tragic death that shocks the entire Forrester family. Nobody could have predicted that only one of the two would survive and step out of that terrifying pool of blood tonight. One person goes down. A body hits the floor, and the blood just starts pooling around them, spreading across the rugs, soaking into the wood. It is a massive dark red puddle of consequences, because this is what happens when you push Sheila Carter too far. This is what happens when you think you can play games with a psychopath. And I am not going to sugarcoat this. The Forrester family is going to be shattered into a million pieces. This is not something they can just fix with a PR statement. This is not a fashion scandal. This is a brutal, savage murder. If Taylor is the one bleeding out on the floor, which seems like the only logical outcome of a tragic death that shakes the Forresters, then Ridge is going to lose his mind. Ridge is going to drop everything. He won't care about Katie's fashion line anymore. He won't care about Bill Spencer. He is going to drop to his knees and scream at the sky, because Taylor is the mother of his children. She is his doc, and she died in the most horrific way possible, in a dirty apartment above a restaurant, fighting with a crazy woman over a bartender. It is so undignified. It is so sad. And Steffi, oh my God, Steffi is never going to recover from this. Her hatred for Sheila was already at a maximum level, but now it is going to be nuclear. Steffi is going to want to kill Sheila with her own bare hands. And Steffi is also going to blame Deacon, because Deacon let Sheila into their lives. Deacon hid Sheila when she was a fugitive. Deacon married her, and Deacon invited Taylor into that bed. Deacon is the catalyst for all of this destruction. If Deacon survives this night, he is going to wish he didn't, because the Forresters are going to make his life a living hell. They will take his restaurant. They will take his freedom. They might even take his life. But what if Sheila is the one who dies? What if Taylor managed to turn the knife around in the struggle? What if the doctor had to become a killer to survive? That would also shake the Forrester family to its core. Taylor Hayes, the healer, the therapist, covered in blood, standing over the dead body of her worst enemy. The psychological trauma of that would be insane. Taylor would never be the same. She would have to live with the fact that she took a life. Even in self-defense, it would break her brain. And the scandal would be massive. The press would have a field day. Renowned psychiatrist murders patient's mother-in-love triangle dispute. The headlines write themselves, but the notes say Sheila prepared a bloody, ruthless plan. And Sheila stormed in with the knife, and the chaos led to a tragic death. Usually when Sheila plans a murder, she executes it. I just can't stop typing because my brain is spinning with all the possibilities and all the fallout. Think about Ivy Forrester. Ivy is over at the office acting like a mastermind because she kept Will and Electra apart. Ivy is forcing Daphne Rose to keep secrets. Daphne is stressing out because she wants to have a baby with Carter Walton, but she feels so guilty about hiding Ivy's manipulation. Daphne is crying in her bedroom while Carter tries to be romantic. And Ivy is just smug and happy. Ivy thinks she is the queen of manipulation, but Ivy's an amateur. Ivy is playing in the sandbox. Sheila Carter is the real deal. Sheila Carter just showed everyone in Los Angeles what real consequences look like. You don't play with fake letters and broken necklaces. You play with sharp knives and locked doors. And what about Melissa Dillon? Dillon is facing an impossible choice right now. She overheard Ivy and Daphne talking. Dillon knows that Ivy stole the letter. Dillon knows that Will and Electra are only broken up because of a lie. And Dillon has to decide if she tells the truth and loses Will or keeps the secret and stays with him. She is terrified of losing her new job at Forrester. She is terrified of being homeless again. She is wrestling with her conscience. But honestly, who even cares about a stolen letter right now? Who cares about a receptionist job? There is a dead body on Deacon Sharp's floor. There is blood soaking into his shoes. The police are going to arrive. Baker's going to show up with his hot dog and his notepad. The yellow crime scene tape is going to go up around El Giardino. The paramedics are going to bring out a black body bag, and the whole city is going to stop. The fashion shows will be canceled. The petty arguments will end. Electra will stop screaming at Dillon. RJ will stop taking selfies. Bill will stop yelling about ownership rights. Because death has a way of silencing everything else. Death makes all the stupid little dramas look so pathetic and small. I am just so exhausted thinking about it. My fingers are cramping from hitting the keys so hard. I haven't even proofread any of this. I don't care if there are typos. I don't care if my sentences are clunky. You guys needed to know the truth. You needed to know that the show is changing forever. Because you cannot undo this. You cannot bring someone back from a brutal knife attack like this. Well, I mean, it is a soap opera, so maybe they will wake up in a secret